Hi everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne. Thank you for tuning in today. I love being here. It fills my soul and it makes me extremely grateful, and I appreciate every one of you that are tuning in and coming back, liking, subscribing, all the things you probably hear every time you've ever watched a video on YouTube. But it is super important, and you're the reason that we do this. And this is also a great way to support the channel, is liking and subscribing, and it's free and greatly appreciated. So moving on from there, I am going to be reading the October astrology for the general readings for all the beautiful Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, even Venus placements. And I have definitely shuffled these cards very much, but it's been really interesting to me because there's been some duplications happening with all the shuffling I've done with at least 4 or 5 of the readings. It's pretty interesting, the same 2 cards. We'll see if that happens. Yet again, I'll let you know. But prior to that, let me just say a couple of things. I want to mention that I've been having quite a bit of difficulty with the downloads. I did Scorpios yesterday. I'm wanting to finish these. We're approaching the legitimate halfway mark in October. But as I always say, it doesn't matter when you watch these videos that I upload, because any time is going to be the appropriate time. And yeah, we're leaning towards the second half of the month, but trust me, this month of October has been quite full of energies that are affecting all of us, what with the eclipses that have just transpired, the last one being in Libra on the 2nd and 3rd of October. I couldn't do any uploads. I tried, it kept just circling around and seeking, but I didn't give up, and I will never give up, actually. It's not necessary. You just have to be patient, right? And then I will go with the flow, and as it comes up, I will continue my quest to get the readings out. So yes, and so the first half has happened. The eclipses will affect us throughout the month, all and up until literally 6 months to a year. Can be some of the information still coming from eclipses, is what they're known for. And they have been in the North Node sign of Aries, South Node of Libra. And then we had that little bit of a, preparation for the eclipses coming in 2025 with the partial lunar eclipse in Pisces, which will be the next series. It'll be North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. So I'm excited. There's been a lot. And then the second half of the month has the huge influence of this beautiful full moon in Aries. So Capricorn, I guess the most important thing I want to say right off the bat for you is that yesterday, the 13th of October, this is being recorded on the 14th, it was your kind of last hurrah, if you will, having Pluto enter into your sign yet again. It's kind of played a little dance in the last year and a half or so, back and forth into Aquarius and back, and now Pluto's in your sign until the 19th of November, and then it will not reappear in my lifetime, I would imagine, or not fully. I don't know how long I'll live, but it's a pretty good indication that it'll be in the sign of Aquarius for the next 20 years, and then even more, but it'll back off and come back and do a little dance yet again. So this is a lot. It's station direct. It's momentum is building in these next, what would that be, 7-8 weeks? And this is big for you because it's been in your sign. Pluto's been in your sign since, 2006? It's like 18, 19 years. Wow. Are you going to notice the change? Have you been noticing? I would say an absolute yes. I think it's going to affect all of us in ways that may seem subtle, and then as it continues on, will really make it so much more notable. But before I even go into that and do start your reading, I do have 2 things I like to do every single time I do a reading, and that is check your chakra of the day because this is essential for our well-being, and I'm really trying to push this with people. It's nothing new. It's nothing I've invented or thought of. I just want to invite people to really focus in on the importance of the balancing of our chakra centers, or energy centers that are imaginatory, but like anything, energy is seen and felt with our feeling, right? Mostly. I mean, it's not something you necessarily see, but you most certainly feel it, and it's what everything is made of. So it's important. So I like to just have a little chakra check of the day and to initiate it. And it kind of coincides with the other aspect that I like to do, introducing the crystal of the day. And the crystal's color is relative to one of the chakras because they're associated with colors. So let me pull this really quickly for you first, just to kind of initiate and maybe have you recognize that this is an area that Spirit wants you to focus on specifically more for right now. I mean, it's good to focus on them all. I do an actual little meditation every morning, and I ask to open each channel and remove blocks, which is important. Sometimes you can feel when there's a block. If my throat is particularly, unable to speak, or I'm not able to, having to clear my throat, literal blockages, then I'm thinking, okay, this needs a little more healing and meditation. I'm a Reiki master, so I can very easily work with that. And I think anybody can become a Reiki practitioner, stage 1, 2, 3, and onward. Something you might want to look into. It's really one of the most amazing things I've done, and it's about our energy yet again, keeping it balanced, and feeling whole in our bodies with our mind, soul, and spirit. So your card for today, dear beautiful Capricorns, this is so wonderful. Now I have 2 shades I can show you right here, but I love it because it does match with your crystal today. So let me put this aside in my pocket. It's part of my my microphone, which I hope you can hear me well enough. I'm praying it's not the most expensive, but it is pretty nice. I do appreciate it. So the 6th one is, and it's kind of a close toss-up because as far as I'm concerned, the blue, the turquoise I'll be speaking about as far as your crystal, it can start at the throat chakra and then it works its way up. So the 3 above, the first one is the root. It goes to the sacral, third being the solar plexus, right near the belly button, 4th being the heart, then the 5th is the throat, and then the 6th is the third eye. So that is your innate intuitive abilities, psychic abilities, the ability to know, to understand, to be aware, the mystical part of life that I'm so enthralled with and have been my entire life. And it just keeps getting stronger. So this is something that Spirit's wanting you to let you know that your intuition could be really leveling up and reaching places you may not have thought it would. And if you're wanting that, by all means, ask for your spirit guides to help, the angels. They'll be there to help you and show you. There's so many different wonderful videos on YouTube about it as well, and books and so forth. Audiobooks. So let me read you what it says about the 6th chakra. My intuition connects me to the all-seeing, omnipresent nature of the universe. Divine intelligence flows through me. I am provided profound insights that allow me to navigate life's constant movement with simplicity and ease. Let me read that last part again. I am provided profound insights that allow me to navigate life's constant movement and simplicity and ease. Isn't that, it just feels good even reading that and knowing that that's a part of our everyday existence. That's all of us. It's not just one, it's not another. Some people want to focus and, utilize it more than others, yes. But is it a gift we're born with? Yes, it is. And we're all connected and we all have that ability. And I think what I'm understanding, which is part of my, talk with you today, Capricorn, is that Pluto goes from your sign on the 19th of November into Aquarius. And that's just a whole other ballgame. I mean, you understand Aquarians, you're right next to them. That's the next sign away from you. So you get the energy from them, and I've known many people that are very intertwined with each other with those two astrological signs of Capricorn and Aquarius. But you're very, very different, and the polarity is very attracting. It can be very helpful, and it's very encouraging as far as, new things and inventing things and out of the box ideas. Now, let's go to your crystal, if I may, first, before we get into the reading and explain even more. But today, when I was in my meditation, I just was thinking about you in the reading, and then turquoise came to mind. And I don't know, maybe there's a good percentage of you that love turquoise. I've always very much loved it. I have ancestry that, lived and resided in New Mexico and then Spain in some areas, but it does resonate from me growing up and seeing my relatives using it and wearing this and always loving it, not really having a lot. In fact, I looked through my belongings and I had this that I'm told was a real piece of turquoise. It's not the best representation, but you can see it's that beautiful shade of blue. It is, I wrote down a couple of the most important things I think that I can share with you as far as the healing, protection, energy of it. And the healing and protection and luck are the things that really are being spoken about it. It has healing properties to water as well, giving it rejuvenation and purification. Its properties magnify when given as a gift, so that's always nice. And I like to wear this anytime it matches what I'm wearing of the day. And it enables truth and has connection to the throat chakra because of the color, like I said. So everything kind of ties in, and that's what I like to do with the reading, in addition to maybe give you some insight, which is also what my main mission statement is. I want to lift you up. I want to remind you of things you already most likely are very much aware of, and, be your cheerleader and send you love and encouragement and recognize your incredible abilities and powers and mystical aspects of your life. So I'm going to set this aside and hope that my throat chakra will work for you today. Sometimes I realize, because I am a full-time massage therapist still, I don't talk. I have some clients that like to talk, but I don't talk that much. So when you don't use your muscle in your throat that much, it tends to be a little bit less smooth unless I do a little bit of warm-up. And sometimes I actually do. I love to sing, and I sing in the shower and all that, but I used to sing when I was younger too. So it's a good thing to do. It's just to kind of warm it up sometimes and prior to readings. But I'm going to be doing the Celtic Cross reading for all Capricorns for the month of October, the remainder month, the mid-month and onward. And the Celtic Cross, of course, for those that are new, I am a psychic intuitive reader of many, many years. And I get messages that come through in addition to the messages that I can read and the energies that come from the cards themselves. The Celtic Cross is wonderful because it has different placements and associations with your life, which I'll explain as I read them to you. And lastly, this deck is one of my favorites that I pulled out. I hadn't used in a long time. It has more of a fall feeling to me, which is, of course, what we're in the season in the Northern Hemisphere. And it is called the Pagan Other Worlds. So let's get going, shall we? The overall energy for you, Capricorn, in this very, very transformational time in all of our lives. There are first-time events with the astrological, the planets and all the connections and the aspects that have been very noteworthy to me. And I'm an aspiring astrologist, so I'm more in tune with it, more eager than ever to listen and see the comparisons and the cycles that we go through. I always like to say like 100 years, because that's a lifetime, they say, and I believe we're going to be living longer as well. So you can all be eating my words about that in heaven somewhere, or hopefully heaven, and when I've left this earth. But first of all, overall energy for you, Capricorns, and that's the center card. And you have the Queen of Cups. Now, the Queen of Cups is a water energy. And by the way, water element is all about emotion, all about feeling, all about sensitivity and the gifts of intuition personified. You know, it happens to speak of the Cancers, the Scorpios, and the Pisces of the zodiac. Now, the water element is extremely compatible with the earth element, which is what you are, Capricorn. And, you know, as I use always as the analogy, you take earth, which is what you're about. You're an earth sign. You know, you love the material aspects of life. You love anything you can feel, touch, something tangible. You're a cardinal sign. You see the season, you begin the season and of winter, which is on December 21st. But, you know, there are 4 cardinal signs, which is another huge influence in this month when we have the grand cross of all 4 cardinal signs. Aries being spring, Libra being fall, Capricorn being winter, and Cancer being summer. So that's a strong, strong, strong feeling. But the two, the water and the earth is, you know, imagining, you know, you take the ground and the dirt, you add the water, and then you can mold it, right? And it builds and it grows. You plant the seeds, you watch them grow. You're patient. Your patient is exactly what you are. And the Cancer is ruled by the moon. So there's a lot of, like I said, innate feeling. There's the sensitivity. It really is a nurturing sign. It's a caring sign. These are characteristics I'm sharing with you about the Queen. You could have certainly water in your charts, and you have this part of not just being a Capricorn as a sun sign, moon or rising. You could have water in there as well. So your groundedness is there, but you also have the capacity to feel very deeply and to share this with others and to help them feel loved and cared for. And it doesn't mean that as a female, that we all have the female and male aspects in masculine and feminine dualities within everybody, you know, we all have that. So I like this a lot because it just brings on the reality that, number one, we have Venus, the planet of beauty and love and money and, you know, magic and relationships and all the beautiful things, benevolent planet, right? It rules the sign of Libra, which is what sun sign we're in right now, which is the birthday month for Libras, starting the latter part of 23rd of September on through the 22nd of this month. It's about relationships when it's with Libra, and that influence that everybody, I think, is feeling a little bit more right now. You know, it's like, I wonder if I do want to be in a relationship, or the one you're in. Like, do I really want to maybe take it a step further and maybe have another commitment time? This is huge right now. And so it wouldn't surprise me if there's somebody or something within you that's wanting that very thing. It wasn't meant to be a love reading, but of course, when it comes up, I will speak of that. Because anytime there's water involved, there's going to be heartfelt emotions and certainly love and tenderness and, yeah, just beautiful feelings of romance. So Venus is in the sign of Scorpio, is what I was trying to say when I brought up Venus earlier. That's passionate, like so passionate, but a deeper, a very intense kind of passion. And it can go either way, right? So let me do one other couple things about the astrology and then I'll move on. I wanted to mention that's really important for today because I always like to talk about the present time as well. We have Venus squaring Mars. Now, squaring means it's kind of it's not a trine, it's not as easy of an energy, but it's attracting. It's kind of, it gives you that edge and what makes you want to kind of push a little more, or rebel a little bit, and maybe speak out where you didn't speak out before. That's the Mars, right? Now the moon, that's full moon, that's the last super moon coming up on the Thursday of this week, the 17th, is in Aries, and that's the sign that's ruled by Mars. So I mean, I know you can relate to everything I'm saying, and I'm sure you've been feeling this, and it's, to me, when it's Venus and Mars, it's just this really exciting and passionate time. Now, it can be taken to places like there can be aggression in a way that you don't particularly care for. And now, as a Capricorn, I've met many Capricorns, you're the zodiac sign that's all about success. I mean, I've not met a Capricorn of a certain age that's not either pursuing it through diligent, school and degrees. I've met them who have gone to no schools but are self-starters and have just done so magnificently because you have the eye on the prize, you represent the goat, and they can climb any mountain with ease. They have great sure footing. You have such tenacity and such dedication, and there's that grounded energy too. You stick with something. You are incredibly diligent about whatever you do. You like to be behind the scenes a lot of times. I've met outgoing Capricorns, but the majority of you are perfectly fine being in the background, doing the, delegating, leading the organization, and doing it extremely well. You're more than happy to do it yourself, but a lot of times you do own companies and you are in charge, and so people turn to you because they trust you. They really do. And you will be trustworthy, and you will be reliable, and you will be successful. I know you know what I'm speaking of. And if you're not, you're going to know because you're going to see to it that happens. And that's really beautiful. So overall, there's definitely a really beautiful feeling of emotion that's coming through, but it's filling you up in ways that you may not have felt for a while. And with these eclipses, it can just change things in a heartbeat. The second part of the astrology I'll mention for today is that I think Venus opposes Uranus, and Uranus is the planet of unpredictability. So here's the key words for pretty much every reading that I'll do, and that's expect the unexpected. I've come to just take that as second nature because that's life anyway, if we're really going to be honest about it and transparent. We have ideas. I get premonitions, and sometimes they really do come true, and other times I really don't have a clue. So we want to bring out that part of us that has faith and has trust and can write down our intentions and manifest and really be aware and use our intuition. This is another thing about the water element, is the intuition is so strong right now. The veil is thinner, as they say in October, as we get closer to Halloween. So I love that. That's your overall energy, and it's a good one. It's heart-based. The second card is going to be the crossing card, which is going to be having to do with your blessings or blocks. Depending on the card, we'll see what it is. Oh, there you go. Ace of Wands, new beginnings, fired up. This is known as the phallic card. It's very, very, very passionate. It is on fire, and it is representing the fire signs and elements, which are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. I don't know what to say. We just had Aries is in March. They're the first sign of the zodiac. They're the leaders. This is about your leadership as well. You don't have to be a fire sign. You can have and demonstrate these energies. And you're on top of your game right now, and you have some really brilliant ideas that you want to bring forth. And this is the time to do it. And then with the Pluto going into Aquarius for the next 20 years. It's entrepreneurship. It's working with others. It's breaking down the walls of what we have known. Now, I don't think it comes necessarily easy for you, Capricorn, or any earth sign in general. Change is hard. It's most hard for the earth signs because they like a pattern, you know. You're not a fixed sign, you're the cardinal, so you're a doer and a shaker and a mover. And you can handle it, but it's going to be gradual in a way, and you'll have that. It's not going to be all at once, but you're going to notice things that are going to be incredibly new to all of us, and you're going to adapt, and you're going to take it on very well, and you're going to excel in the new. So fasten your seatbelts, as they say. I'm excited about it. I don't see anything negative. I choose to see the most positive things in life. We can always look at the negative. I choose not to. Okay, I look outside. I had a walk. I stopped and I said, my gosh, what an incredible world, you know? Oh, and there were this flock of these little birds that just come from nowhere. It seems like magic, you know, and they just disperse as quickly, and you're just thinking, wow. It happens all the time, but do you ever focus? Do you ever just say, the animal kingdom, all of this is, we're all one, you know? It's just such a beautiful place. So lots of beautiful possibilities, right? Right in your hands. So then we have I'm going to turn this around for you. We have the foundational card, and that's very important. It's important for all of us. It's important for our homes and any building we want to have stand, you know? And then you have the tower, which will come along and knock things down, not necessarily a building, but it's a reference, you know, just as an analogy. And so what kind of foundation have you been feeling, or do you think that you're working with? Well, there you go. There you go. Not surprised. The star, the Aquarius, representing the sign of Aquarius. So as above, so below, beautiful, beautiful picture of a person, you know, filling the jugs of water. The water represents information. Yes, it always invokes emotion, of course, but it's giving from one into the other, you know, keeping that balance, keeping that, sharing the information, sharing the knowledge, you know, working as a whole, not so much individualism. Like I said, a lot of the things and the ways that we've known of this world have changed. They are changing. Businesses have closed right and left. Technology is taking over. It's just, it is what it is, right? But you're holding strong to your dreams, and you know with everything you are that it's anything you fully believe and put effort into is going to come to you. Now, sometimes not always in the exact same way, right? We know that. I found that out too, and I don't even ask that necessarily. I have an idea of what I'd like, and I do find myself asking for things, but not as much, I'm happy to say. Because I'm almost really, really interested in knowing how things unfold on their own, other than the main one for me, of course, which is health. And it could be that for you. It doesn't have to be a business, it doesn't have to be a relationship. It could be that love of self and knowing that I will fully embrace my body, my soul, and take as good a care of myself as I can, which in turn just naturally helps you to care for others more. And that's also part of the overall energy with the Queen. That's about caring and compassion for others. I like this a lot, Capricorn. Moving on, we have the recent past. And you've got the Seven of Pentacles. Not surprising, hardworking as you are, that's your element, the coins, the pentacles. Yes, it represents money, but it also represents, this is almost like a tree, but it isn't. There's other depictions. It's like the growth in your life. Where are you? Where have you come so far? Really giving it a lot of thought right now. I think a lot of us have. And as I mentioned, since Aquarius entered into your sign and went back and forth in the last, 18 months or so, maybe less, you're really rethinking things because you see, you're feeling, you have the intuition, you understand, you're aware. You've been doing your due diligence about, you know, all the different things changing, like even the money and the way that we have always seen that and all sorts of stuff. I mean, we'll be figuring it out as it comes along and we'll make it all work. And I know you will too, but you're really thinking about it. And 7 is a very spiritual number in that it's a great protection. It's letting you know that, you know, as long as I said, and you have no problem working overtime and probably way too much actually, but making sure that you write down your intentions and then you actually do something every day towards it, you know, 1 foot at a time towards it. And you know the drill. We learn from you in that regard, Capricorn. I have 1 planet that's an earth sign, so it's a toughie. It's a Virgo, and it's in Pluto. So anyway, but I also really love it because everything else with me is like from here up. It's always in the sky or looking around or thinking or daydreaming or something. So, but that's really beautiful. That's your recent past, so I'm sure you can relate to that. And then the immediate future. I can't even tell you how many times this has come up in this position. This is very interesting to me. It's the universe just speaking out to all of us. This is your reading. Yes, it is a general one though, however. So I'm just saying there's a lot of people getting this 2 of Wands. Look at that. The fiery energy again, the full moon opening up and lighting up your path, your ideas. It could be somebody you want to go into business with when it's 2, but it could be 2 choices and 2 opportunities coming along. You're going to go through that vortex, which is the center there, and you're going to make that choice, and you're going to do spectacular, but you are kind of contemplating, and you're going to make sure you don't necessarily just go off of adrenaline alone, because the fire signs are they're just very impulsive a lot of times. They're like, oh, I love it, let's do it. You're going to think a little more about it, but you may be involved with a fire sign, and the 2 of those, between the 2 of you, powerhouse. Absolute powerhouse. So that's your possible future. Let's go on to see what the placement for your immediate future is. Another pentacle, directly like a cross, balancing it out. It's the 6. Well, this is a gorgeous one. You can't tell with this so much depiction, although I love these cards. But what I can tell you is the 6 represents balance. It represents Venus, the planet Venus, which is what we're in right now, with it being Libra season up until next week when it becomes Scorpio season. But it's transformation, but it's help, it's fairness, it's you give so much and someone else gives back in kind. There's reciprocity. It feels right. It feels justice has finally come around, and it's an even number, you know, so that does represent balance. When you think about the scales, if you had 3 on one and 3 on the other, there you go. You know, it's not tipsy-turvy. It's a wonderful card, and it's meaning that you might be the one giving the help, or you might very well be receiving it, or both. Okay, so keep that in mind. I would love to know. If those of you are just joining me and you kind of skipped through the beginning and all the other things, thank you for tuning in. If you like and resonate with the readings, I would love you to please like, subscribe, push that notification bell. I'm not 100% sure when I'm going to be uploading these yet, as I'm still in the beginning stages of relaunching everything, but I will be. It will be consistent in one form or another, I promise you. And I'd love to have you here. And it's a great way to support the channel. Moving along, we're going to finish with the stem. And that's going to be, the first card represents kind of your perspective on your life, on your reading. In general, as you look around, what is your modus operandus? What is really keeping you thriving? What are your most deepest, beautiful, you know, inspirations and desires and so forth? And you got, this is the thing about this deck I love so much. It didn't come with an instruction book, and it doesn't matter because it's pretty self-explanatory. It's that wonderful, almost yin yang, you know, Libra-esque thing where it's about that time. We're in the equinox, the perfect amount of light and dark. It gets dark now at 7 p.m. in the northern hemisphere, and it gets light around 7 a.m. The perfect balance, right? We did have the eclipse, and it does remind me of that, but I think there's another card that's more ecliptic-like. So you're still definitely feeling the results of that, and you will. And the new full moon is going to instigate even stronger feelings with the fiery aspect, and the eclipse was the Libra, and the whole, it's all perfect. It all culminates together very beautifully. It's very synchronistic. You're feeling like you're at the right place at the right time, and you're ready to move forward, Capricorn. So that's kind of your overall energy, and I like it. It's a good place to be. That balance is there, and we all need that. We really do. And then you have the next, which is the environment. And there you go again with your energy. You're very much in your energy, and it's, look at how it's balanced here. It's the Three of Pentacles. Well, this is growth. This is mastering something that you know, and I know that you know is always your full intention in anything that you pursue with your heart. And don't be surprised if it happens faster. Though the Pentacles are a slower moving energy, it is a longer lasting energy. It is a lifetime situation. You're not doing this just for a fly-by-night situation. You think about your legacy. You think about your family. You know, you want that stability and all the grounding energy that comes when you're an earth sign. You've got it in spades in this reading, okay? And it's not like it hasn't been worked towards. You've certainly manifested this in your own way, even if it's through thought and meditation. That too is another way to do it, but I think it's way more than that. So congratulations, reaping the benefits now, right? Reaping what you sow. And that is what this time is. It is called the harvest time for that very reason, you know, and that's exciting for you because it's showing that it's really, really happening. Fire and earth, the real way to get things moving past just the stages of thinking and wishing. Then you have the hopes and fears, and you've got temperance. My goodness, look at this as far as the balance. It's so remarkable how it's tying together like that. I mentioned it earlier as well with this. Now this represents the sign of Sagittarius. This is a major arcana. And so you've gotten two major arcanas, and temperance is Sagittarius, which we're coming into that season just before, you know, yours. And that's going to be in, what, the end of November. So just not far away. But always reminding yourself to keep it calm with these energies that are off the charts with Mars this week in particular, okay? And the full moon. There's tendencies, you know, keep yourself safe, keep yourself grounded. Don't be around places and maybe groups and places that you feel like people are going to be a little out of control, especially with the full moons. You know how that happens. That was where it originally came, the lunacy of it. The lunatics, you know, come out at the full moon. You know, more babies are born and all sorts of strange things. When I worked in the restaurant business, it was like everybody would order the same order that night. It was just weird, quirky things that are hard to put into words and understand, but they happen, and it happens around that time. So keeping yourself balanced, keeping yourself, your temperament even keel, okay, and you'll go a lot further too. And I know that about you anyway. I don't see this as being, I think it's your normal, to be honest. So that would be hope and fear. Now, a hope, yeah. It'd be a hope. You'll be doing fine. The final one is the outcome card. So let's see what we have for you, beautiful Capricorns, for the month remaining of October. Oh my goodness, they're like bookends. Full moon. May I say that the igniting and the possibilities, which are endless, right? But you're going to have them coming in I feel like the full moon is going to light up so much for you, and it's going to be grand, and it's going to be life-altering for sure, but it's going to be soon, you know? Now, there was a lot of hesitation in most of the planets now as of the 11th of October, personal and otherwise, are now going into what we would call the shadowy periods and then the actual retrogrades. The next Mercury retrograde will happen in the latter part of November. It goes on and on, okay? We just had, what was it that went retrograde? Oh, Jupiter, yeah. So Jupiter in retrograde it doesn't take away the benevolent, beautiful aspect of it. That actually happened on the 9th of October, my birthday, of all things. But what it does do is it makes you more, you internalize more, and you kind of really, it's a time of great introspection. And I love it because the holidays can be very hustle bustle. So with that happening and helping our constitutions to kind of slow it down a little bit, Mars will be going into retrograde as well. So there'll be a lot, but it happens every year. Mars will be an extended retrograde, though. I will put that out there. It'll start in Cancer. It's been in Cancer. Then it goes retrograde into Leo at the end of December through February, I believe it is, and then back in Cancer through April. It's a long haul. That's a gorgeous energy for an earth sign. I'm not sure where that falls, what house. You can look that up. It's very easy and free on like Cafe Astrology, and find out what your chart is and your placements. Wow, you're fully immersed in the energies. You are feeling it. You're in your power. You're being cool and calm. You understand the ways that the earth and the natural rhythms, which is another indication of the watery aspects that came through, and just your innate knowing. So I love that. I am going to finish, though, with one more card, if I may, and it's going to be the Psychic Tarot of the Heart. And it's just a word or a sentence. I just appreciate your time. I hope that you can resonate. If you're not right now, trust me, there's some lingering energies that'll affect all of us, and the story will unfold for quite some time. So I'm going to do a little shuffle here for you and wish you an amazing October, because it looks like there's some very, very positive energy and excitement as far as new things and new beginnings and, you know, stepping up to the next level, which is something you love, right, Capricorns? So anyway, your beautiful message in closing is strengthening bonds. Well, I see that here. There's definitely something in regards to partnership. The heart, of course, is your overall energy that started it. That's very conducive to any kind of relationship. Doesn't have to be romantic, but I feel like a lot of you understand that. There's the trees. Look at this beautiful card. The earth. You love nature, you love solitude, you love time to reflect and regain your energy and all the centering of your chakras, as we spoke of. And this is the outer color being the beautiful burnt orange reddish, which is our root and our sacral chakras, having to do with our stability, but also our creativity. I don't think I mentioned creativity, my gosh. The water has so much creativity, you know. I mean, Pisces, these eclipses that'll happen starting next year in Pisces and Virgo are going to be very, very conducive for your heart and your love, but also your creative juices. So keep that in mind too. But until then, thank you very much again for your time, and I hope you'll see me in November. Bye for now.